This tutorial will walk you through the budget form for the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program. This budget form is both a budget and a meeting plan. It is a hybrid form, and so we're going to walk through it. It is pretty easy to use. This is the Microsoft Excel version of the form, and we prefer that you use this version because it does the math for you. There is a fillable PDF version of this form. You can certainly use that if you're more comfortable with it, but you'll have to do your own math. So I really encourage you to experiment with this form first. So we start obviously with the names of both the master artist and the apprentice. It's very important that you fill both of these out. And then we start with the meeting plan. And so make sure that you've read the guidelines really carefully while you're filling this out. Because the guidelines, there's a little bit of information on this form, but the guidelines have a lot more detail about what is required. And so the apprenticeship is going to take place over a 6 to 10 month period, and the master and apprentice should meet for a minimum of 65 hours total. And so we're going to, first you're going to type in how many months you're going to meet, how many meetings per month you're going to meet. And so let's say you're going to meet for 8 months and you're going to meet 4 times a month. Let's say you're going to meet weekly, right? So you can see that you have a number now, 32. This is the number that you're going to use to calculate your mileage request. So it's already in here. And then you're going to tell us how many times, how many hours each meeting is going to be. And let's say it's going to be 2. And so you get another number here, 64. This number is going to be used to calculate the master artist fees. So you'll come back to these numbers when you're when you need to. And so right away you need to. So this is for the master artist, the number of hours at $30 an hour. So here's your number of hours is 64. And you're going to put that in and click tab, and you can see that it did the math and it came to $1,920. And then you're going to list any supplies that you need, and you want to be detailed about this. So if you need woodworking supplies or guitar strings or other supplies that are necessary for this apprenticeship, you want to put these down. These are supplies for the master artist. You can ask for up to $3,000 for the master artist. So you want to make sure that that you have put everything down. You know, and let's say I'm just saying supply A, supply B, but and you can see that it adds things up in terms of the supplies. And so now you can see we haven't even added master artist travel yet, but you can see that down at the bottom, this bright green line is the total. It's already exceeding that $3,000 maximum. So we're going to have to go down and change some of this. And so let's cut supply B in half. Actually, let's cut it down a little bit more. And so you're going to have to play with this a little bit. This is the way this works. And then if there is travel for the master artist, you want to put that in as well. And these fields will help populate that total. So you want to put them in. The mileage is at 50 cents a mile. And you want to tell us where you're traveling from and where you're traveling to, how many miles round trip, and how many times you're meeting. So that goes back to, you know, how many times are you meeting? You're meeting 32 times, right? And so if the master artist is traveling, that's where that information goes. When we get to the apprentice budget, we've got the same sort of thing. We have supplies. The apprentice can only ask for up to $1,000. So, we've got supply A, and let's say that's 500. But let's say the apprentice is the person who's going to travel. The apprentice is going to go to the master artist for the lessons or whatever it might be. And so you want to put in where you're traveling from and to, and how many miles round trip. And let's say it's 15 miles round trip. And of course, when we go back up, we see how many times we're meeting, right? We're meeting 32 times. So we're going to put in 32. And you can see that that populates. It's asking now for $240 for mileage, and that it's adding to your other costs. Here's your $500 of supplies. If there are other expenses that you have, you would list those here as well. And then it will do the math for you. Just remember what those maximum requests are. That's really, really important. And also remember that your grant coordinator will help you with this. So please reach out if you have questions about the meeting plan and the budget, because that person can help. Finally, once you are done with this, you want to save it. And so you're going to go to the File menu, you're going to click Save As, and then you're going to save it somewhere. I'm going to save this on my desktop. And unfortunately, this little window doesn't want to move for me, but I'm going to label it with the master artist's last name. And then I'm going to click Save. You can't see the Save button, but it's there. And you're going to save it. Then we'd like you to save this as a PDF. The reason that we prefer PDF files, and you heard me say this in the tutorial for the application itself, is that they can't be inadvertently edited. You can certainly submit this as an Excel file, but we would prefer that you submit it as a PDF. And so there's a little video on the grant page that shows you how to use the print dialog in Microsoft Excel to save this document as a PDF. And so we would prefer that you do that. But again, reach out and ask us questions. We are here to help you. So that's the budget plan, the meeting plan, and the budget for Trad Arts Apprenticeships. We look forward to seeing your application and your budget. Thanks.